the G22 report. I am your host, Johnnie Market. You all know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you already haven't. Just a little disclaimer, nothing said on this podcast should be construed as financial investment advice. This is just investment advice. This is just my opinions, thoughts on the market. You can read more on the disclaimer below. Let's get into today's stuff. It is a weekend. Sunday's generally prime time. And let's go in. The after hours, which I thought was interesting. I heard like markets crashing, Trump tariffs, etc. But look at this. Gold's only down 9, and silver's up 88 cents in after hours, which is very encouraging. I've read technical guys, and some people think silver will go back down to 26 or 28. I don't know. I said there's only 3 scenarios right now, which could be is that during this sort of correction, gold just bases around 3,000 and then makes its next move. Or it could go down to 2,800, but like over a month or so, over maybe 1 to 2, or over a 2 to 3 month, or maybe even 4. I would say the basing would be like a long 3-month correction, maybe 4. Then it goes down to 2,800. Or gold could go down, within a month, just down to 2,600. Those are the scenarios I'm looking at. We'll see. Could go up more. I think a correction like this would be actually more healthy for the market. And then it would give us some resistances, breakthroughs, and whatnot. So that's what I think, but you never know. My next target to where I think there should be some profit taking and whatnot. So I said $50 silver. So I just wanted to point this out just because you look at this right now, the Dow futures, those are down 900 points. S&P, look at this. As I'm speaking, it's 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. The E-minis, it's broken below 5,000. So I don't know exactly what the bottom is. I think there'll be another upswing. But NASDAQ, that's really taking, and who knows, maybe this is part of the crash. Maybe it goes to 4,000 and then comes up, makes a relief rally to 4,800 and then keeps going down. But yeah, I'm going to read Yahoo Finance after this. Some interesting stuff, it looks like. But yeah, it's looked like, I don't know exactly. Maybe this is a crash. I read somewhere there was like Black Monday or not. And yeah, I think the Fed will capitulate though. I think if the S&P gets to 45 or 44, they're just going to start cutting rates. Now, there was a couple of things I wanted to do, and I just wanted to look. Non-stock market, because I look at, the economy and other things. But I just want to do a little thing about Japan. I've been reading and everything. So first, to get everything, Japan is widely recognized as a country with highly skilled and educated workforce. Areas like manufacturing, technology, and research. And they do very well in coding competitions. Unreal. And one of the things they do that I think, here's a couple of things that I do, I just thought was interesting, and I'll share it with you. So I found this article the other day. It says, I moved to Japan 3 years ago for a corporate job. The country and work culture still surprises me. I'm assuming this is the person who moved there. Anything that cool? So just look at these pictures with me. I don't know which. So that's a train. That looks like a crocodile. Like it literally does. Not an alligator. Alligator is actually bigger. I actually know the difference between an alligator and crocodile now. Looks like a crocodile. And let's look at our vending machines. And look at these toilets. They have weird toilets in Europe too. No, they don't have weird toilets, but it's not like traditional Japanese people tend to rinse off before after soaking in tubs. I just never Japan is cool. So anyway, let's go into the article. So here it is. Hanging out with coworkers in Nominaki is important. They often involve a lot of alcohol. I love whiskey. I love bourbon. I can go to sake. Like, how come that's not like cool in America? Like, it's not. It's cringe. Corporate America's cringe. Fax machines are strongly popular, and many workers say, yes, they should be. When I worked in precious metals, we had fax machines. You know why? And I think what else it was? It's because it goes through a pipe. And so it can't be hacked. So when sending PII, which is personal identifiable information, this person moved from Italy. So, like, yeah, America, though, everything's tech. And that's why hacks, things are hacked and leaked. Like, it's stupid. Like, this technology is not good. So, while many businesses have stopped using fax machines, they're very common in Japan. Yeah, well, that's because Japan's a smart, competent country. That's why they use these things. That's why they use fax machines. So, yeah, using human resources by fax. Yeah, that way, your info doesn't get hacked. So, yeah, that's actually smart. So, anyway, look at this. Happy hours look different. So, she's comparing to Italy, but look at this. One of the most unspoken rules is having to attend nomaki, basically meetings to drink. Like, yeah, wasn't that enough? Like here, they just work you, and it's not really meaningful. So I think this is actually sort of cool. So, but it seems, and they do view it as disrespectful higher up staff and colleagues if you don't attend. This is really cool. I'm going to do this movie about Japan. And so this is Mr. Baseball. And in this movie, they claimed it's okay that it's tradition to get drunk and tell off your boss, which I don't know if it is or isn't. Maybe it is, maybe it's not. Great movie, though. We want to do it. But yeah, I doubt it. So I'm not, but based on this movie, I was not surprised of this common thing where people would go drink happy hours. So, I mean, the work happy hours I've been to are just cringe and stupid. Uh, so yeah, I think they're cool. It's just this is one thing. It's not uncommon for workers to stay at the same place for life. So job hopping is normal, but many are. And yeah, that's the thing. This is one reason I think Japan has great skills. Workers, unlike America, is guaranteed job security, include rules that make it difficulties for employees to be fired. They have clear guidelines on bonuses, raises, stipulations. So yeah, that's the thing. So this is the thing, though. But this is why quitting is culturally frowned upon. So, and that's the thing. So, but I mean, I'm not sure like exactly, but I think there needs to be sort of more of this. And even then with quitting. So I've been at employers for a while and then some I've left quickly. But I mean the US, you never know what you're gonna get. It's not really. And there's also, I mean, the worst thing is I think we would have more like this if there was more loyalty within business. Uh in America there's none. In Japan, obviously there are some. So and the other thing too is one of the things about Japan, Japanese labor heavily protects employees, requiring companies to demonstrate that layoffs are necessarily unavoidable. And I think this is the main reason they have skills. Like in America, you work for a company, like every 2 to 3 years, they announce massive layoffs. Just look at this. They've announced massive layoffs every year since 2020. Of course, it hasn't shown up in the jobs numbers, but so in America, like it's at will. They can just so. But I thought that was interesting. I think Japan has a very strong. You can't argue with the results. Like, where would you rather buy your cars from, Toyota or name that car company around the world? Japan has the best cars. They have the best gadgets. They have the best everything. So, I mean, can't argue with the results. And you look at my last articles about Japan. You can see why they have the best results. Things really mean something. Uh, Work's meaningful. So anyway, let's get out of this. Another thing. And I just wanted to point this out just to get you to think differently. Everyone talks about, I'm not ideological, I'm not a capitalist, I'm not a socialist, I'm not any of this. I think that's just idiocy. Those isms are stupid. And America was never, capitalism, like communist and socialism, doesn't work. Free flow of labor and trade and everything. It's why it doesn't work. America was more of a nationalistic from the Northwestern European form than anything. They had high tariffs. Migration wasn't in 1920. 21 they stopped it completely, and up until 1850 from like the beginning. So it had a lot of different. In fact, they tried the Articles of Confederation. So there's a lot of, but anyway, let's go back. And I just point this out because Americans, they like to make fun of Europe, or they'll call them nanny state Europe or whatnot. But if you look at this, look at the happiest countries in the world: Finland, Denmark, Iceland, Sweden, Netherlands, Costa Rica, which is actually Norway, Israel, but they're fighting a war. You want to believe that? Luxembourg, then Mexico. So 1, 2, 3, 4. If you look at it, the top 5 happiest countries in the world, they're all European. And out of 10, 8 out of 10 of the happiest are European. So maybe nanny state, and maybe, but who's happier, Americans or Europeans? And of course, America is not even the top 20. Let's go look at the next one, Australia, which isn't European, but it's from Britain, New Zealand, which isn't European, but Switzerland, Belgium, Ireland, Lithuania, Austria, Canada, which isn't Slovenia, and then Czech Republic. So yeah, America, nowhere to be found. And this just to also show just how bad things are getting in America. Look at the birth rates. Yes, birth rate in the United States has been declining, reaching a record low. 2023, they don't have data from 2024. 2% drop. Look at this. Number of births in the US, lowest since 1979. So, of course, I definitely agree. Economic instability, delayed parenthood, which I think is part of the economic culture, the pandemic, I think. So, and of course, there's no job security. It's absolutely not. So, and I just found this because I did read it in 2023, down 2%. And if you look at it, among all the race groups, it's declining everywhere. 1% for Asians, 3% for white, 4% for both Indian and Alaska Native and black women, and then it rose for Hispanic women, so that's about it. But it only rose 1%, so if you look at it, yeah, just declining. Japan, like, why do they have a highly skilled workforce? It's because people are there for a long time and they don't fire people, and people also don't job hop. So there's a lot of things that I think America could learn from Japan when it comes to skills. And if you look at the happiest places in the world are Europe, and regarding the markets, see it. I don't know where the bottom is, but it's coming down. I think this bull market is over. And I think it's over, meaning, we're probably encountering a multi-decade bear market now. Target S&P 1,000, a little bit below. And then 2030 or 20, not 2030, late 2030s, 2040, it's when the market will rise. But you never know. You know what they say about markets? They take the escalator up and the elevator down. So maybe they'll take that elevator down to 1,000. So anyway, that in terms of an investable position in U.S. equities, that's where I'm looking at. And I think that's pretty much what I'm looking at. Remember, none of this is financial investment advice, just my opinion. Hit that like button, subscribe if you haven't, and read the disclaimer below. I'll see you next video.